the strongest anime villains tier list. We have come together on such a lovely occasion to flex on the world. I mean, to just, to rank anime villains in a factual manner. For too long, people don't understand proper power scaling, and it is up to me to be the light in the darkness. All right, so first villain, Madara Uchiha. So as we know, Madara is an extremely powerful individual. The Mad Lad drops meteors, the Mad Lad destroys worlds, the Mad Lad casted freaking genjutsu that put the entire freaking world into a trance. But in the end of the day, there's something extremely important that you all have to know about Madara Uchiha. The man's a simp. He simps for Hashirama. In the fight, Hashirama has that epic moment where he's like, I'll just show you guys. I feel like that's a better way to do it. I've been waiting for you, Hashirama, Madara boldly exclaims. Oh, there. I'll deal with you later. He just got completely shut down. He got cucked. The mad lad Hashirama cucked Madara so hard, it made him look like the massive simp that he actually is. So, we're gonna have to put him in B tier. I'm sorry. I was immediately gonna put him in A, but when you realize how much of a simp he is, you're gonna have to put him in B. I apologize, but the first few, it's hard because there's nothing else on the board, so we might need to move them around later. Next, we have Muzan Kibijutsu. Now, the reason why he's so powerful is this absolute boss. He wanders around in the streets, he's just doing his own thing and stuff, and you know what? People don't know he's a demon. He goes undercover for so damn long, just wandering around the streets, until eventually Tanjiro notices him. Now, most people don't realize this, but he's actually based off Michael Jackson. Now, the reason why this is extremely important is because Michael Jackson, just like Muzan Kibijutsu, also was a bit of a child predator, but he was walking around unnoticed by everyone until long after his death. All right, yeah, that's where I'm going with this. So he's actually a master of stealth, but when it actually comes to power scaling, I think Madara's meteor would kind of turn him into mush. So Mushzan Kibijutsu is going in C. All right, next we have Tomura Shigaraki. Now this mad lad got such a crazy power. All right, he can disintegrate things that he touches, and that's amazing, right? But then they realized, wait a second, he's actually like 1 billion times weaker than Deku. Deku could flick him from across the stadium and he'll be dead. So then they were like, all right, here's how we're gonna actually come back and make him really freaking powerful. All right, I know that he meant to do it the whole time. It's not like they gave him a quirk and then they realized how much he sucked. But I'm gonna have to put him up there in B tier next to Madara, actually, because nah, fam. I'm sorry. He's gonna go and see. At the end of the day, Madara could drop meteors, simp or not. This man may simp for all for one, but Madara still drops meteors. I'm actually considering moving them all up a little bit, to be completely honest, because I'm already seeing that it will be difficult. But we'll keep them here for now. We'll see where everything else falls. All right, we're gonna be doing this right. Next, since we're on the My Hero Academia train, so right here we have the My Hero Academia fan base that ships all the characters. Being though they're one of the greatest anime villains of all time, no matter how much they're stepped on, they manage to keep living. It's crazy. They're easy at being defeated. Like, every single time they come forward with an argument or a statement, you just slap them immediately. They just get completely demolished. So, honestly, they kind of suck. Like, they're some of the weakest villains of all time, but just due to the fact that they keep surviving and persevering, and there's more and more of them popping up again and again and again, I think that talking about some of the most iconic anime villains in history, the My Hero Academia fan base, I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to drop them in C tier. All right, so this is what we're looking at right now, and we're gonna have to swap this right away. This is very important. Boruto tier, because that is in fact what the lowest tier is. Next villain, we got Acnologia from Fairy Tail. So here's the thing. Acnologia himself, like, he was in this massive dragon war. He wiped out there was this massive army, 2 sides. Each side was extremely powerful, and then Acnologia straight up whips both sides. Immediately, that would make me want to put him in A tier, but in the end of the day, being that he's from Fairy Tail and friendship triumphs all in Fairy Tail, since most anime do have friendship, he would probably be defeated by everybody, right? I mean, in the end of the day, it made no sense how they actually beat him in Fairy Tail as is. It had to be chalked down to friendship. So if friendship is his weakness, and every anime is friendship, if this is a proper tier list of the strongest anime villain. He kind of sucks because friendship will just defeat him every time. So we're gonna have to drop him in C tier right here. All right, next we got the Demon King from the 7 Deadly Sins. So the 7 Deadly Sins, as we know, it's a fantastic anime. It knows exactly what's happening at all times, especially when it comes to power scaling. When they said that Meliodas has a power level of like 3,000, and now at this point in the manga, he has a power level of like 1,000,000. I mean, I have to say that they knew exactly what they were doing the entire time when it came to power scaling. The only one thing that they didn't know was when they were actually gonna end it. So like, they introduced the Demon King, he was defeated, and then it was like, bruh, we want to get another arc. The Demon King just came back even stronger. Then they defeated him again, and it's like, bruh, you think that's it? Ha! Another arc! So the Demon King has this ultimate ability that he could keep coming back into existence as long as the series actually wants to continue, which technically makes him immortal. So we're putting him in A tier, because even Madara, like when they wanted to extend Naruto, they added the whole Kaguya little fiasco at the end there. Madara couldn't even survive the crazy additions. So Demon King is actually stronger than Madara, being that like the plot will always make sure that he's the main villain, while the plot will discard Madara no problem. Next villain, we have Jiren. So Jiren is an extremely powerful individual. This mad lad can crush universes. I mean, I'd like to meme around and stuff, but he ended up being beaten by Goku at the end of the Tournament of Power, while Goku wasn't actually using any forms. Believe it or not, Goku beat him in base form, which is why Jiren, I'm sorry, he's gonna be going in B tier. Next, we got Frieza. So a lot of people saw that fight right there where base Frieza and base Goku were stronger than Jiren. I think that's pretty hilarious because there's also Golden Frieza. So that means Frieza is actually stronger than Jiren, and also he has plot convenience on his side. He's come back multiple times. In fact, even after dying, when they couldn't figure out what to do, they introduced the Tournament of Power to bring him back, which is very cool. All right, so next we have the Mosquito. So as we know, Saitama and Goku are always argued about who's actually stronger. Is it Saitama? Is it Goku? But so I'm not gonna really stick my neck out to give an opinion on the matter, but being that it's always so argued, I'm gonna relatively say that they're pretty equivalent. And as we know, the Mosquito could not be beaten by Saitama. It's the one adversary Saitama could not overcome. So on this, the factual strongest anime villain tier list of all time, I think Mosquito easily gets an S tier. Not gonna lie, we all saw it coming. All right, next we got Sosuke Aizen. Aizen is one of the most iconic anime characters of all time. We all love him, we all know him, but there's something really important you have to know about Sosuke freaking Aizen. He had this master plan and all these crazy powers, but in the end of the day, he lost to Ichigo, right? So we all know that in the end of the day, Ichigo is stronger than Aizen. But why is that? Aizen had the Hokyoku, this thing of incredible power. How could he lose? The answer is simple. So in the end of the day, it's discovered that he knew that after he beats Ichigo, there's nothing for him further. So in his subconscious, he wanted to lose. That's right. He actually wanted to lose in his subconscious mind. So, with that said, the Hokyoku, which can create anything out of his subconscious, created his loss. So technically, this man lost because he wanted to lose, and the Hokyoku created that reality. So no matter who he's up against, even if it's the My Hero Academia fanbase, which gets stomped in every single time, since it's his subconscious will to lose. I'm sorry, Sosuke Aizen. People are gonna hate me. Sosuke Aizen is factually going into the Boruto tier. Alright, so next we have Akashi from Kuroko no Basket. This is extremely important. This character is really strong because as you can see right here, he has the Sharingan. He can like see other people's moves and make them trip and stuff. So as we know about Naruto, all of Madara's jutsus are Sharingan jutsus. So he's at least Madara tier. He's also not a simp, so we'll put him above Naruto. Madara. Next one. So right here we got the absolute mad lad, Diaboromon from Digimon. We all love him. He's pretty epic. This man took over the internet, which as we know, is in fact the most powerful anime villain of all time. Or is it the protagonist? Yeah, I'd say the internet's the protagonist. So if this mad lad beat the internet, which is the strongest anime protagonist, it speaks volumes for how amazing he is. But let me tell you something about Diaboromon. So this mad lad is a better villain than almost any other villain you've seen from almost any other show ever. And the reason is simple. It's because he's smart. That's right. Not only did he clone himself 4 billion times, but he was like, all right, now that I took over the internet, what am I going to do? I'm going to launch nukes at people. This is 5,000 IQ anime villain. People are making fun of Diaboromon, but he straight up took control of governments and shot nuclear missiles. The only other time a nuclear missile is used, it beats the strongest adversary ever in Hunter x Hunter. So I'm sorry, Diaboromon S tier actually has a brain, straight up making Digimon the greatest isekai anime of all time. Next, we got Boros from the One Punch Man. As we know, Boros wandered around the galaxy, fighting opponents, doing his thing. So, Boros is pretty epic. I am a big fan. He gets kind of destroyed by Saitama. Not much of a surprise. Everyone kind of gets destroyed by Saitama. But, yeah, we'll put him in A tier because it'll annoy people to see him above Jiren. That is literally the only logic, and I think it's sound. Next, we have Garou. So Garou is a very fascinating phenomenon because while he is an anime villain, he was such a powerful villain, he straight up destroyed the entire animation budget for the entire One Punch Man Season 2. One Punch Man Season 2 was straight up destroyed by this man alone, which puts him in S tier easily as one of the strongest anime villains of all time. Now, seeing that we have too many people in A tier, we're gonna have to recalibrate the system a little bit. Yeah, I think that makes more sense. Would you look at that? And all was saved. All right, so next we have this chef from Ratatouille. Most people don't understand how powerful he is. I'm gonna have to show you with my power scaling feats. So this is a man named Horst, and he's from one of the greatest anime of all time, Ratatouille. I'm gonna have to make it normal speed so you can catch all the power scaling feats here, all right? It's not easy, but we have to be clear. Horst is one of the most powerful anime characters, as I'm about to prove. I hope you're all ready. Get your pens out. Get your papers. I hope you're ready to take notes. This is Power Scaling 101.
I killed a man with this thumb.
Bro, he straight up killed a man with this thumb. All right, I hope that's clear. I don't want to hear any of this garbage, disrespecting my man Horst. Next, we got Pirate King Buggy. And I know people are going to say, Nux, there's no way you were serious for this entire list with all your scaling. And to that I say, that's ridiculous. I don't know why you think I wasn't serious. This is straight up facts. Now, Pirate King Buggy. I don't mean to spoil. My guess is that in the One Piece verse, Buggy will straight up become the Pirate King. This man is so amazing that he became a meme within the verse he stands. He's an easy S tier for me. And I know that people think are gonna like, Nux is just kidding, Nux is just memeing. No, Buggy's a meme within the One Piece universe. And memes reign supreme. Mark my words, this day will be looked back to for generations as the time Lord Nuxanor predicted Buggy rising to power to become the Pirate King. And when it happens in 20 years, y'all are gonna come back to me and straight up freak the hell out. All right, next we got Kayaba Akihiko from Soldado Nurain. A wonderful anime, a wonderful show. So this man is so amazing. He managed to completely take over the entire internet. Like, at the end of the day, we got Diobormon taking over the internet with, like, his sheer willpower. Nah, fam. Kayaba Akihiko took over the internet with how bad of a villain he is. This mad lad straight up destroyed YouTube. I think that's a pretty huge feat. Putting him in B tier, like, beside Madara, I think that kind of makes sense. Because Madara is one of the best written villain that got a crappy ending, and he was a potentially good written villain that got a crappy ending. In the end of the day, Madara is a simp, and Kayaba Akihiko, you know, simply took over the entire internet. This man don't simp to no one. He doesn't remember why he trapped everyone in the game. All right. So next we got Team Rocket. Team Rocket is pretty amazing. If you want to look at actual feats for Team Rocket, you have to compare him to the protagonist, Ash. So Ash had some pretty amazing feats. For example, he outran Greninja, like, on foot. And as we know, on foot, Greninja is one of the fastest Pokemon. I think he's like 50% faster than Salamence. And Salamence can, like, fly at the speed of fighter jets, like at sonic speeds. So that means Greninja's faster than supersonic speeds, and that means Ash is faster than Greninja, which is even faster than supersonic speeds, right? And Team Rocket, as we know, runs away all the time, and they're faster than Ash. So Team Rocket is faster than Ash, which is faster than sound, confirmed. So with facts like that, we know that very often Ash cannot defeat Team Rocket. I'm not saying in a Pokemon battle. I'm not ranking them with their Pokemon. I'm talking about base Jesse and James here. They're mad lads. That's what I'm trying to say. And also, Jesse and James are so strong, they can break the fourth wall too. So for that reason alone, I think it's pretty safe to say that they pop an S tier right there. Okay, so we got Jotaro. Most of you are probably immediately gonna think, bruh, what? These are the strongest anime villains. Yeah, because since Dio is in fact the protagonist to the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure franchise, we're gonna be putting Jotaro here as the representative of the strongest villain in JoJo's. And as we know, this man was beaten by a mouse, which immediately drops him down to C tier. You're a bit of a Chad, I have to say, but being beaten by a rat, not exactly a good look for you, I have to say. Moving on, we got Gon. People, you are immediately gonna be like, bruh, Gon's the protagonist of Hunter x Hunter. And it hurts me when I hear that said all the time when clearly Hisoka is the protagonist of Hunter x Hunter. If you include the manga arcs, Hisoka's straight up in more arcs than Gon. So since Hisoka is the protagonist of Hunter x Hunter, we're gonna have to put Gon as the villain representative here. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, bro, where's Meru and whatever, but Meru was never really a villain in regards to how he counteracted with the protagonist being Hisoka. So we're gonna have to put Gon here because he's probably the main villain of Hunter x Hunter, being that he keeps not letting Hisoka have his way with him. Nah, that sounds weird. Have his way to fight him. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Gon goes up here somewhere, except being that he has crazy end conditions, he automatically dies after every fight. I'm gonna put him in C tier. I know you're probably gonna think, what? Adult Gon is so strong, but as you can see, this is Kid Gon, because being that, as I've mentioned, Hisoka is the protagonist of Hunter x Hunter, and he's only after Kid Gon. Adult Gon is in fact not even a villain. He's not an antagonist towards the protagonist, which is Hisoka. So we're only talking about Kid Gon here, which I think, you know, right beside Jiren. I think that kind of makes sense. All right, moving on. We got another character that most people think is the protagonist, but in fact is the antagonist. It's the Pharaoh from Yugi's Bizarre Adventure. It's straight up annoying to me that people think he's the protagonist when clearly the story follows Kaiba and Kaiba's quest to, you know, to become the king of games. I mean, we all love underdog protagonists, right? Like, straight up, underdog protagonists are the way to go. They're so much fun. They're amazing. They're amazing to watch. And Kaiba's the underdog protagonist of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because this one evil Pharaoh guy, who, by the way, let me remind you, had slaves and stuff, right? This man had slaves, okay? How many good protagonists of progressive anime have we seen where the main character has slaves and like women worshiping him and like feeding him grapes under like a massive leaf that they're waving at him? All right, this man is a pharaoh, okay? And in this modern society, that will not stand. So, being that he is a villain for both of these reasons combined, we're gonna have to put him on here. Kaiba is an extremely powerful individual, obviously. So, if Yugi's the guy that defeats him every time with the power of cheating, that straight up puts him in A tier. This man is an absolute fear. He's someone that we should all look at in fear, and unfortunately, people don't understand that he is in fact the dark force of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise. All right, here we got a Nazi, and as we know, you can never cancel a Nazi. A tier. Look at that. All right, what do we got here? The Beast Titan. So the Beast Titan is an amazing, fantastic, extremely powerful villain in the Attack on Titan series. This man throws rocks, and as we know, rocks are very heavy. So with all those calculations in mind, we're going to be putting him in C tier because, believe it or not, he doesn't actually win a fight against a relatively important character in the entire show. But you know who's stronger than Zeke? This man right here. So for those of you that don't know, this is actually an NPC. But as we know, NPCs are the most powerful enemies in Attack on Titan. It's like you come down to the line, you have all these like named important characters, and then all of a sudden, the most powerful enemies in the entire manga, randoms. So we're gonna put the NPC in B tier. All right, so here we got one of the strongest anime villains of all time. Honestly, the next three are all extremely controversial takes on my part. We got Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll, as one of the most powerful anime villains, has extended their reach to take over the Tower of God manhwa, which is amazing, and create a Tower of God anime, which is pretty good. But unfortunately, the drop from amazing to pretty good is a little sad. Crunchyroll has done wonders for the anime community and stuff. As most people know, Crunchyroll actually started as a piracy website and eventually started licensing shiz because they wanted to stand out from Kiss Anime. So as one of the strongest anime villains of all time, they license a ton of anime that it's extremely difficult to find now all the anime. So as far as anime villains go, Crunchyroll is I'll put them in B tier here. I think that kind of makes sense. The next one you'll recognize is my anime list. So my anime list, as we know, doesn't want to recognize that Interspecies Reviewers is in fact the greatest anime of all time. They try their hardest to go out of their way not to get flexed on, but that just makes them get flexed on more. Like, they straight up threaten lawsuits, and like their mods are going crazy, and they're calling me out, and so I think it's pretty hilarious because pretty much all the thing they do, everything that they're trying to do to get out of the situation that I accidentally put them in, they lost. Like, it literally made things worse for them every time. They are literally killing themselves. So, with that said, Boruto tier villain right there. Too easy. Sorry. Come at me with more spunk next time. I meant to put Funimation on this list, but unfortunately... Alright, here's another anime villain. It's Mother's Basement. We're not gonna get into too many details here, but like, just to be clear, let's see how he describes himself. I think it's unfair for me to be the one to describe him when clearly he deserves to be the one to describe himself. Owner of Mother's Basement, the worst anime channel on YouTube. Look, I would have never said that, but since he went ahead to say that, we're gonna have to be the bigger man and take his word for it. He's not really a villain. I like him personally. Big peepee. We'll put you there. You know, next to the Beast Titan. Beast Titan's pretty powerful. And finally, Project Melody, the final anime villain that is going to be on this list. I feel like we've had a good run. This man straight up slapped the bitch out of the entire internet. She came on the internet and everyone was freaking out. How is this Shmentai Whammon managing to be even stronger than any of us? Like, how is she taking over our entire site? But she was strong enough to flex on the whole internet by accident. Like, Theoboromon, he took over the internet, but, like, he tried to take over the internet. Project Melody did it by accident, which is amazing. Like, I believe she considers herself accidental meme. And I think that that is extremely respectable. And also, no matter how many adversaries I come across, and I face, and I fight, they all crumble before me. The fan base stands by me and will never take the side of my opponents. I have one of the strongest fan bases on YouTube. I have to say, I have nothing but respect for you. The only one that they'll say to the fan base, call me Daddy Nux. And then the fan base goes ahead and calls me Daddy Nux. Straight up, the fan base ships me with Project Melody so hard. They take her side, not mine. What? Straight up S tier villain. Project Melody's awesome. I love her. Don't take that out of context. So yeah, there we go. That's basically the strongest anime villains tier list. So, thank you all so much for coming to this amazing tier list where with nothing but facts and logic, I managed to put together the strongest anime villains to end all future debate. I hate when I see people arguing who's actually stronger, Aizen or Madara or any of that, because those arguments are everywhere, and people are arguing about little villains from different series. So I feel like it kind of makes sense. That I put this together to just put the argument to rest. End of the day. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Remember to share this with your friends when they argue about power scaling, because this will completely end all of that. Have yourselves the most wonderful evening. And remember to subscribe. Let me know future tier lists. And stay weird, fam.